What if I told you that your brain, the very thing you rely on to make sense of the world, has been feeding you illusions? You remember the Monopoly man having a monocle, don't you? He never did. You swear you grew up watching Looney Tunes. It was always Looney Tunes. That feeling you get, like the floor just shifted under your feet, that's not just confusion, that's cognitive whiplash. And it's not an accident. The Mandela Effect isn't a joke. It's not a glitch in pop culture. It's a glitch in you. Your memory can be rewritten. Your mind distorted. Not by someone else, but by itself. And here's the part no one dares to say out loud. If your brain can misremember the past without permission, what else has it been quietly editing while you weren't looking? We treat memory like a camera. It's not. It's a weaponized survival tool. It doesn't store truth. It stores usefulness. It doesn't capture reality. It manufactures stories that keep you safe. And safety is not the same as freedom. So think about that. Every belief you hold, every story you tell yourself, every fact you'd bet your life on, could be nothing more than a carefully constructed lie, built not to enlighten you, but to protect the illusion that you are in control. That's the game. You were never taught how to navigate it, because if you knew how fragile your mental foundation really was, you'd become dangerous. Your mind was never built for truth. It was built to survive. And survival comes at a cost. Next we go deeper into how easily your identity can be hijacked without you ever noticing. You think you remember your first heartbreak, the look on their face, the words they said, the way it made you feel like the ground gave out. But here's the truth your brain doesn't want you to know. That memory, it's fiction, a reconstruction, a rough draft edited after the moment passed, rewritten to fit the story you needed to survive. You don't carry the past, you carry your brain's best guess at the past, filtered through fear, distorted by ego, shaped by stories you never chose. Let that sink in. That moment you said, "This is who I am now." That turning point where you built your confidence, or lost it, was based on a false report. You think you hate public speaking because of what happened in 5th grade, but your brain exaggerated the fear to protect you from embarrassment. You believe you're bad at love because of a pattern that might never have existed. Your mind stitched together fragments, filling in the blanks with insecurity. You think you know yourself, but what if that self is a mask your brain created to protect a version of you that never actually lived? This is how it works. The brain doesn't serve truth, it serves survival. And survival, more often than not, means lying to you, repeated. Your identity, your habits, your fears, your pride, could all be anchored to memories that were bent, blurred, or broken. You're not living in the truth. You're living in a carefully edited simulation. And now the question becomes, if your mind can shape your past, what else can it fabricate? Because in the next section, we're going to tear open the illusion of identity itself. Here's the part they never teach you. If your brain can lie to you, if it can bend memories, distort reality, rewrite the past to fit a survival script, then it can also be reprogrammed. This isn't weakness, this is leverage. You've been taught to fear your faulty memory, to see it as a flaw, but in truth, it's a doorway. Because if your mind constructs your reality, not just records it, then guess what? You can become the architect. Your mind isn't a vault of facts. It's a flexible machine. It runs on pattern, meaning repetition and emotion. It builds reality. It doesn't report it. And anything that can be built, can be rebuilt. The stories you tell yourself, rewritable. The triggers that make you freeze, rewirable. The identity you think is just who I am. People stay stuck not because they're broken, but because they don't realize how programmable they truly are. So pause for a second. Think about all the things you believe about yourself. I'm anxious. I'm bad with people. I'm not a leader. I always ruin it. Who told you? Because if it came from a misremembered failure, a childhood comment, or a distorted trauma, then it's not truth. It's just an outdated program running in the background. And here's the dangerous idea. If your brain can lie by accident, imagine what happens when you start lying to it on purpose. Reality isn't fixed. Identity isn't fixed. Everything can be altered if you have the courage to take control of the code. Now ask yourself, what else have you accepted as truth, just because your mind told you so? Because in the next section, we start hacking the patterns that run your life. The Mandela Effect is just the smoke. Let's look at the fire. Your brain doesn't save memories like a hard drive. It rewrites them every time you recall them, like editing a Word document that auto-saves the newest lie. This is called memory reconsolidation. Every time you remember, the memory becomes unstable and can be altered without you knowing. And once it's saved again, you don't remember what happened. You remember what you last remembered. Now mix in confabulation, the brain's habit of filling in blanks with made-up details, not to deceive, but to complete the pattern. Because your brain doesn't want truth, it wants consistency. It wants a story that makes sense, even if it's not real. Then add priming bias. Your perception can be manipulated by what you expect to see. That's why if everyone around you says it was Looney Tunes, your brain will start believing it. This is not stupidity. This is strategy. The brain is a prediction engine, not a truth engine. It fills in, smooths over, patches up the chaos, so you don't freeze in uncertainty. But here's where it gets darker. If memories can be edited, and if your brain accepts illusions as fact, then memory can be planted, ideas can be inserted, beliefs can be bent. You can be made to remember pain that never happened, or trust stories that were never true. And the scariest part, you'll defend those memories like your life depends on them. Because to your brain, they are your. So now the question is, if memory can be planted, who's doing the planting? Next we expose the hidden architects, shaping your mental reality, without your consent. This isn't science fiction. It's been happening for decades, right in front of your eye. Governments have rewritten history books, censored archives, erased revolutions, rebranded failures as victories, all to control what you remember about the world. It's not called deception, it's called narrative control. And you think you're immune? Look close. Why do you feel a wave of warmth when you hear an old jingle from your childhood? Why do you crave a product because it reminds you of home? That's not nostalgia. That's manufactured memory. Marketers don't just sell products, they sell false familiarity. They tap into collective emotion, then link it to their brand. They use repetition, emotional priming, and storytelling until your brain thinks it's remembering something real. You weren't there when Coca-Cola was classic, but the commercials made you feel like you were. That's psychological sleight of hand. And it works, because your brain fills in the blanks. It assumes pattern is truth. It confuses recognition with authenticity. You've been trained to remember what benefits them, to forget what empowers you. They don't need to control you physically. They just need to hijack the hard drive of your past. Because he who controls the memory, controls the identity. Now pause. If they can plant loyalty, rewrite your emotional triggers, and engineer belief systems from nothing, why can't you? Why should the architects of control be out there, when the most dangerous one could be you, reprogramming from the inside out? In the next section, we flip the script, and show you how to steal back that power. If they can hijack your memories, it's time you hijack them back. Here's how. The memory recode loop, or MRL, is a three-step psychological weapon. It doesn't erase memories, it rewires the emotional charge behind them, and that changes everything, because emotion is the glue that locks memory in place. Break the glue, and you break the pattern. Step 1. Trigger the emotional memory. Close your eyes. Pull it up. That moment you always avoid. The failure, the betrayal, the humiliation. Let your nervous system feel it. Let it surface like it's happening now. Step 2. Disrupt it with contradictory sensory input. Now, while it's raw, do something unexpected. Play a joyful song. Laugh. Dance. Change your posture. Say something absurd out loud. Your brain will short-circuit the pattern, because it can't process two conflicting signals at once. Step 3. Rewrite with a new association. Overlay the memory with new meaning. A lesson, a victory, a symbol of survival. Instead of "I was weak," anchor it to "That was the day I woke up." This is memory reconsolidation in action. Neuroscience backed. Proven. Dangerous in the right hands. You are not deleting the memory. You are deactivating the pain loop that controls you. Trauma transformed. insecurity, rescripted, habit, rewired. Because if memory creates identity, then changing a memory means changing who you are. So here's your challenge. What will you rebuild? In the next section, we go deeper into the hidden language your brain uses to store control and how to rewrite it line by line. If memory shapes reality, then why play by the rules of what actually happened? Here's the truth most people aren't ready for. Your brain doesn't care if it's real. It cares if it's emotional. It cares if it's repeated. It cares if it's vivid. That means you can plant false memories, and your nervous system will respond as if they actually happen. This is not delusion. This is design. Here's how it works. Step 1. Visualize a fabricated event. Not vague, detailed. Picture the stage, the room, the feeling in your chest. You walking into the interview and owning it. You walking away from the toxic person with complete peace. You winning with calm certainty. Step 2. Add emotional intensity. Crank it up. Make your heart race. Breathe like it's real. Say it out loud. Your brain encodes through emotion, not logic. Step 3. Rehearse it until the body believes. Do it daily. Layer it with sound, sensation, movement. And soon, your body starts responding like it actually happened. Confidence becomes muscle memory. Courage becomes instinct. Experience becomes implanted. This is the same psychological machinery used by high-level cults, military trainers, and elite marketers. But now, it's yours. Because you don't need to earn power. You can install it. If the brain can be tricked into fear, it can be tricked into greatness. If trauma can be implanted, so can triumph. This is psychological warfare, turned inward, for your benefit. So ask yourself, if memory is the source of reality, why not control the source? In the next section, we take this deeper, and show how to use language itself as a tool for neurological. This is where it all converges. You are not just the sum of your memories. You are the story your brain keeps looping over and over, until it becomes your identity. But what if that loop was never yours to begin with? What if the shame you carry was just a broken recording? What if the fear wasn't truth, but residue? What if the person you believe you are was built on corrupted file? Here's the truth. Every time you access a memory, you reshape it. Every time you repeat a story about yourself, you reinforce its code. That means identity isn't fixed. It's programmed by memory, belief, and repetition. So now the power flips. You don't just revisit your past, you rewrite it. You install new loops. You script new scenes. You plant victories where failure used to live. You speak of your past with precision, not pain. This isn't fake it till you make it. This is engineer it until you embody it. Because the mind doesn't care if the memory is real, only if it's rehearsed. Say it enough times. Feel it deeply. Loop it with intention. And suddenly, your nervous system adapts. Your confidence builds. Your instincts shift. You don't just think differently, you become different. This is how you go from glitch victim to strategic self-programmer. You are not chained to the past. You are the architect of the pattern. The most powerful people aren't born. They're remembered into existence. In the next section, we'll expose the mental viruses still running in the background and show you how to purge them before they sabotage everything. You were told your past defines you, that what happened is set in stone, that memory is truth, that your scars are permanent. But what if that's the final illusion? Your past is not a prison, it's clay. It bends, it warps, it reshapes every time you revisit it. You were never meant to serve your memories. You were meant to command them. Stop asking permission from a version of you that was never fully Stop worshiping the archive. It's not sacred, it's editable. The stories you've clung to, of failure, of shame, of weakness, they are not prophecies, they are loops, and loops can be broken. You don't need closure, you need authorship, because the real power isn't in what happened, it's in what you decide it meant. You can choose to see betrayal as the moment you broke, or as the moment you awakened. You can choose to replay pain, or redesign it as preparation. That's not denial, that's domination. Memory is a mirror. Until you make it a weapon, don't just recall your story, rewrite it. Don't just survive your past, Strategically rebuild it. Don't just question your memories. Override them. Because in a world where memory creates identity, you are either the programmer or the product. The Mandela Effect didn't break you. It revealed the code. Now use it. Now that you've seen behind the curtain, tell me, who are you? Not the name. Not the resume. Not the story you've told 1,000 times just to feel consistent. I mean beneath that. If your memories were rewritten, if your identity was constructed from half-truths and emotional echoes, then who's the one staring back at you in the mirror? Are you the fears you inherited? The wounds you memorized? The labels someone else gave you? Or are you something else entirely? Something still forming? Something waiting to be chosen? Because here's the truth no one dares to speak. You are not a fixed self. You are a fluid narrative, and the pen has always been in your hand. So don't ask who am I. Ask who am I willing to remember myself as. Your brain will follow, your body will adapt, and the world will start to reflect the story you commit to. This wasn't just a video, it was a blueprint, a mirror, a mental reset key disguised as a glitch. You can keep clinging to the past like a scar, or you can recode it like a weapon. Your memories are not your prison, they are your palette, and if you can remember differently, you can become anything. Silence, stillness, and then the whisper fades.